Warning: this video contains sensitive material and is intended for educational purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. A man stands in front of a camera, smiling. Behind him are armed fighters, gripping rifles. Beside him are young girls, some barely old enough to understand where they are. The man laughs. He speaks casually about death, about burning villages, about taking children. This is not a warning video. This is a celebration. This man ordered mass kidnappings. He turned children into weapons of war. He erased entire communities from the map. His name is Abubakar Shekau. And for more than a decade, he was the living symbol of terror in West Africa. Under Shekau's leadership, Boko Haram became one of the most violent extremist groups in the world. Entire villages disappeared overnight. Homes were burned to ash. Roads became killing zones. Millions of people were forced to flee, carrying only what they could hold, into camps where food was scarce, security was fragile, and survival was never guaranteed. This violence was not random. It followed a pattern. Fear. When Boko Haram's original leader was killed, many believed the movement would collapse. Instead, it transformed. Abubakar Shekau stepped forward and reshaped the group in his own image. He ruled through paranoia and brutality. Anyone accused of betrayal was executed. Entire families were sometimes killed as punishment for one person's escape. Even Muslims, people who shared the same faith, were targeted and slaughtered. Under Shekau, Boko Haram abandoned any illusion of restraint. Violence was no longer a tactic. It became the identity of the group. Shekau did not hide in the shadows. He wanted the world to see him. In video after video, he mocked governments, laughed at international outrage, and openly claimed responsibility for mass murder. These videos spread far beyond Nigeria. They were designed to terrify civilians and humiliate authorities. For villages across the region, the message was clear. Resistance meant death. Silence meant survival. Fear arrived long before Boko Haram did. One of Shekau's most devastating strategies was mass kidnapping. Boys were taken from their homes and schools and forced into training camps. Some were beaten, some were starved, some were ordered to kill. To prove loyalty, girls were abducted in large numbers. They were forced into marriage, used as domestic slaves, or held as bargaining tools. Schools became primary targets. Education symbolized everything Shekau claimed to hate. For parents, sending a child to school became a life or death decision. In April 2014, Boko Haram stormed a girls' boarding school in the town of Chibok, Nigeria. 276 schoolgirls were taken. They were loaded onto trucks and driven deep into the forest. Weeks later, Shekau released a video claiming responsibility. He laughed. He threatened to sell the girls into slavery. The world reacted with shock and outrage. A global movement formed. But outrage alone did not bring most of them home. Some girls escaped. Others were rescued years later. Many remain missing to this day. For the families left behind, time did not heal the wounds. It only made them permanent. Shekau's violence did not stop with kidnapping. He escalated further. Children were turned into suicide bombers. Girls as young as 7 years old were strapped with explosives and sent into crowds. Many did not understand what they were carrying. They were told that they were going somewhere safe. Markets, mosques, refugee camps. No place was off limits. The psychological damage spread just as deeply as the physical destruction. In 2015, Boko Haram pledged allegiance to ISIS. But even ISIS leaders criticized Shekau. His indiscriminate killing of civilians, including fellow Muslims, caused a violent split inside the group. Former allies turned into enemies. Boko Haram fractured under the weight of its own brutality. Shekau had created a movement so extreme that even extremists rejected him. By 2021, Shekau was surrounded. Rival militants closed in. The man who had terrorized millions was finally cornered. Rather than surrender, he detonated a suicide vest. Abubakar Shekau died the same way he had ruled, through violence. Shekau is gone, but the damage remains. Entire regions are still recovering. Millions remain displaced. Thousands of children grew up knowing nothing but fear. This story is not just about terrorism. It is about the cost of extremism, paid almost entirely by the innocent. And long after the headlines fade, the victims are still living with the consequences.